I have the advantage, and I don't feel like I have an advantage. This is a complete and total shit show. I lost my capital. I lost my plaything. Almost out of moves. And I'm about to lose another city. I can only get out Corsairs, whereas everybody else is getting out planes, trains, and automobiles. And it's... I just wanted to take my cities back from Amina, who will not call off this war, even though I started it. And Machiavelli is supporting me with a couple of field cannons, and that's it. So, making matters 10 times worse, I'm not just fighting her, I'm also fighting pretty much the entire globe, and it's bad. It's bad. It's really bad. But that's okay. There was an update yesterday, folks. Ada Lovelace is now part of the crew. And it's all well and good. I was using her yesterday. I once again didn't read the extent of her abilities, so there were elements I hadn't grasped. But for the most part, she's pretty good. I mean, we'll see how this works. No, it wasn't just moving certain things around the list. It was other aspects like now we have Great Britain. Oh, I'll shoot you. Oh. I have money. I mean, it's not like I don't. I have a lot of money. Oh yeah, I forgot. I can only buy here. This is not a city. My orange is back. And problem is I don't really have good units. If I had more oil, maybe. Alright, so I got this here. And as I said, the biggest issue with this is on deity. The opposition just keeps throwing units out at you, and after a while it becomes a little nauseating. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, Ada Lovelace, and she was in 6. Corsair's like, wait for me. She wasn't 6, but she was just a great person. She wasn't somebody you can use. I mean, you can use her as a great person. You couldn't use her as like a general or something like that. Well, no, that would be a great person. You couldn't use her as, say, a leader. Now she's a leader. The leadership elements, in terms of who they've chosen in this game, seem to be a little bit more liberal in interpretation. I mean, a lot of these people were leader-like, but they didn't lead civilizations. That's okay. That's okay. As long as it's a fun play, that's all I care about. Fun play. I don't care about, I mean, I like the historic elements to it, but there are some that are not 100% what you would expect. That's all right. Our big problem now is whether or not any of this is going to make any difference. Okay, I do want a schoolhouse because, I mean, I just don't have the yields. Schoolhouse in the museum, yeah, makes perfect sense to me. I got it. Don't worry. Let me just take my city back. Okay. So Parsa is mine again. And Parsa is the city again. All right. Nice attempt. I give you credit for it. Accommodation for drill subject of the year. I'll take that. Now, the one thing that hasn't been updated is the fact the music keeps going off, which drives me nuts. I have 9. That's it, right, 9. And we'll do a schoolhouse. But I also love how you can see everything. You know, like you can see, when you hover over, you can see everything. Are you joining me or are you just chilling? Like, what are you doing here? I can really use some assistance. You are not joining me. Okay, you're just friendly. Or you're non-hostile is what it is. He still has units. I still don't, and I have China here. I mean, there are... It's gone. There are sanctions, or at least there are story threads that when you lose a unit, you sometimes, I think the first time you lose a unit, you get one back. But this goes beyond anything I can possibly contend with, because this is every single time I do anything, they are coming right back. And obviously they have the, despite the war weariness, they have the resources. What's my money at? But as I said, the biggest issue is the fact that the only thing I can really take out of here is like a Guard Imperial. And they are completely pointless. Well, not completely. They're just not good. Field cannons are pretty decent. You are there. That's where you are. You're there. But I just can't get over how a unit that is at base popping about 60 or 50 something offensive might somehow gets up to like 90. I have an artifact here. Okay, I just want to take my city back. And then I want to call for peace. Like, if I take this city, she might go for peace, but I don't know for a fact on that one. He just threw himself in there. I mean, that was not very nice. And you can see I'm vulnerable. Why would you attack then? This is how the game plays. Like I was playing last night. I was streaming it, and I'm using Ada Lovelace, and it's like Ben Franklin on this small piece of land throws a city right next to mine, right next to my capital, and then he gets mad at me, right? So after he throws a city at my capital, he then, it takes up space and all that stuff, and he gets mad at me like I did something wrong. So my response is, okay, I'm going to take that city. And I get into a war with him, and I kick his ass. For the most part, because it takes about 800 turns for me to finally get through a city. Like you can tell, the opposition always has walls, the opposition always, like, it's always the same thing, right? So I guess that was successful. I don't know. I mean, trying to keep up with signs, I should probably just get some units. Fully aware, man. Anyway. No, you don't. So anyway, I'm kicking his ass, and then it stops. He loses a city, the one that I wanted, the one I was close to, and I say, all right, now I have to figure out, oh, it's Frederick, who, strangely enough, doesn't like me. And while this is going on, a crisis happens, obviously, because it's crisis time. And it's the crisis where I have a bunch of rebels. And they're absolutely obliterating me, right? I'll take that. I won't take that. And it's just, you're overwhelmed. You're constantly being attacked and harangued and harassed and whatever. And on top of it, you have to put in cards that have to do with losing happiness. So next thing I know, I'm being absolutely overwhelmed in every way, shape, and form by a group of, rebellious types. And you have all these independent cities like coming up, and you can't really win them over because they're not real cities. They're these storyline type cities or whatever that are just popping up for the sake of making your life miserable. And didn't realize I had to. And then you have to put cards in that destroy your happiness, destroy your money input, and you're going, wait a minute, do you have to do this now? Like, do you have to? Well, you couldn't have done the antiquity, age, disease. So here I am, I'm winning, and I'm winning militarily, and I'm not even that far out of the whole science, culture aspect or whatever. And yet I have to, stop and replenish my losses based on the fact that they simply decided it's crisis time and it's the worst possible crisis. And the game does it all the different ways from Sunday. Deity, it's funny. The change that one of the changes I love about this game over 6 is that you can win in ways that require specifically strategy. Like you can't just, the diplomatic victory thing, not only is it boring, but at the same time, it's just cheesy. And I don't like winning diplomatically. But considering how they overwhelm you with yields, and the opposition is always so much further in technology and science than you'll ever be, at least when you play on the Switch. Yet despite that, you could always just say, well, build Statue of Liberty, the computer never does. You see me do it. You can watch me do it 7 different times.
Good thing in life. And that is love.
Can't argue with that.
Steam, a far drag.
Alright, so we can get rail engines or rail stations, and rail stations are part of the economic victory standard. So as much as I love, I'm trying to catch up with technology and it's never going to happen. Military science would be in my best interest at this point. Just catch up. So as much as I love that change, the one thing about this one that is just killing me. The one thing about this game that's just absolutely killing me is how much I definitely need that. Is the fact that not you. You can shoot. That's about it. That this game is just absolutely impossible because you can't win on the old, well, I'll just go diplomatically. Like, you can't win that way. You can't build the Statue of Liberty and win. You can't win votes and win the game. Which was sort of the balancing act, although it wasn't a good balancing act for me when it came to 6. Ultimately, what it does is it gives you an opportunity to win a game you should have never won. And although it seems to level the playing field, which it kind of doesn't. At the same time, okay, so that's mine. Because the computer is just too stupid to figure it out. So you rely on the stupidity of the computer with the diplomatic victories because they will never build the Statue of Liberty. They'll build the other ones. You know, they'll build the Mahabodhi Temple. They'll build all those. Okay, suddenly my crosshairs are ridiculously strong, so I shouldn't really say anything. Like, they'll build all the important stuff like that, but they won't build, like, the Statue of Liberty, which gives you 4 diplomatic victories. So instead, they'll never win. Like, I've never lost to... let's see. Is that... I've never lost to the computer diplomatically. And when it comes to, like, even with this, you know, the reason why I ended the last game so early was because it was clear the computer was going to win, but it was just taking them way too long. And I'm saying, all right, you know, nothing's going on. I'm just sitting here passing policies. I'm sure this is boring you to death, so let's just stop. Because, you know, the game can pull the shenanigans it pulled with the Caesar Augustus one, where in the first 5 seconds, you know, they have everybody on top of you, or at least one far superior civilizations on top of you, and you just can't defend yourself. So the game has the capacity to do that. It just didn't. It just made me sit there and wait. And, you know, at that point I was going, look, no one's really using Napoleon. Let's just kind of do something new. I want to go into a more militaristic campaign. I don't want to sit around playing with my testicles. I want to fight. I want to get people angry at me. I want to make money and stuff. And I don't even know if I've unlocked it, but there was a memento of the love of Justinia or whatever, where you would get even more gold with the negative relationships you pursued. And that in itself was pretty interesting. Now, why didn't I take this? Maybe so it's just gold. You know, you look at like Lovelace, or you look at Ben Franklin or whatever. There are so many civilizations that give you science, that give you that. This version of Napoleon just gives you a little bit of money when people don't like you. And really what it comes down to is that doesn't help per se. Let's see. I want this back. Is that all right? No? All right. It was the offer that you gave me.
Angebot. Macht ein besseres.
Alright, I'll just take it by force, maybe. I don't think I can. I don't have an army anymore. Alright, let's just do this. I got some defense on it. Now. Yeah, but like I'm saying, when you have to contend with a computer that just shits the yields, I mean, the ability to win, it seemed like it would be easy to win. Because the computer would simply not win the game. Like, they would be ahead and they would just not win the game. But when you look at the yields... Yeah, that's the city, is it not? Why do I not have the city? This is the city. It's the city hall. It's mine. I'm sitting here. What's the fucking problem? What's that damage you were doing? 64. All right. How much is the Corsair? Shit. Okay, let me save here. I'm gonna try not to have 30-minute videos again. But I will be back in a little while. And we will continue. I'll see you then.